The thing about going live when nobody is around is I have no way to know for sure whether or not this thing is actually working, if this is actually on and people could actually hear. I think, well, it says we're on. And if I do a gigantic live stream to nobody that's completely and totally blank from the sound, I guess we'll know. Sorry, I didn't schedule this in advance. It's sort of a spur of the moment thing. And I just was working and I realized, oh my God, it's been a whole week or maybe more since I did a video or a stream or anything else. And I thought I would just jump on and take care of it. The reason I'm putting in these earbuds is because this microphone is so dang sensitive that I find myself making a bunch of noise that it ends up like getting picked up. And so now I can actually hear it. I'm not going to wait around today for people to jump on. I don't plan on being here for a long time today. I'm wearing my workout clothes because I am planning on going for a hike in a little bit, and I don't want to spend the whole day I don't want to say wasting time, but I want to go and do that other thing. The reason I wanted to jump on and chat was to talk about the Google algorithm update, and people have sent me a lot of messages, which I really appreciate, that people are out there and thinking of me, asking me how I am doing. And the sum of it is I'm doing okay. I honestly don't know for sure how the sites are going to ride things out. I've seen some go up, some go down, and mostly at the page level. So what that means in the end, is there going to be a bounce back? Is there going to be recovery or everything flattening out? I'm not going to judge. I'm going to give it a couple of weeks. I'm just following everybody else's advice to just sort of hang out and let's see how it rides. For me, since not all my eggs are in that basket, with my websites, I'm not freaking out, but I do see that a lot of people who are legitimately trying to build stuff have seen some pretty significant drops, which sucks. Hey, Paul, how's it going? This is a surprise stream, and I think we're going to miss everybody. I just wanted to be held accountable for myself to get out here and get something published. So, if we don't catch everybody, that's cool. I'm sorry. I did not schedule it in advance, but so far, all I've managed to talk about was the Google, I can't even say it, the algorithm update and how it has impacted me, but not so dramatically that I want to go and just throw in the towel and throw everything away. Hey, Dennis, how's it going? 3 sites saw a drop, sit and wait. I really think that is the right thing to do, is just to sit back and sort of watch how it plays out. The first time that an update hammered me, I'm pretty sure I drank. I'm pretty sure that's how I dealt with it, because it felt like the end. And then a couple of months later, things rolled out and things popped back up again. And so instead, what I have, instead of a site that is dead forever, I have some sites that are going up and down like this. Hey, Adam, you say big fan, and how, you know what, that warms my heart, honestly, because ultimately that's what I feel like we need. We need that more than we need more information, because I think so much of the information is out there and they do it better than I do. So, I mean, why should I sit here and try to preach and teach, because I'm not an expert? So that's really what I'm trying to do. And I appreciate you so much for just saying that, because sometimes we feel like we're here in a vacuum and creating stuff that not many people see or, have time to appreciate. Maybe they would, but competitors drop too. Yeah, I mean, it's great. I guess you could say it's great that everybody's suffering equally, but I don't know if that's going to be the case necessarily. If it's like one niche that's been hammered, or one style. I mean, I really appreciate right now being in Matt Diggity's affiliate lab Facebook group, the paid group there, because they're doing a lot of chatting over there at a technical level, rather than sort of speculating, and they just sort of keep me chilled out, because they're like, yeah, this happens a lot. We're just going to wait it out and then we'll analyze it. We're sending data over and we're really going to be able to chat and talk about it. Hey, Phil, I hope that you are working your butt off, because otherwise you're going to be stuck right here next to me in another box and talking to me about what's going on in your world. If you guys don't know, in the accountability group, Phil set himself a goal and then wasn't sure that he was going to be able to get there. And so I threatened him with an interview, because Phil says that he would hate doing an interview on YouTube basically more than anything. And so, yeah, to put the fear in you. So we'll see how it goes. So let me know if you're on track, because I'm watching this carefully, because I think it would be really fun content to drag you on here. And I don't want to say make you suffer, because I don't think it would be as bad as you think, but it would be fun for me. Ines said, AdSense will remove ads balance feature after May 20th. I'm not sure if I understand exactly what that means. So you'll have to tell me again because sometimes I am a total moron and sometimes I am just not up to date on what is going on with AdSense. So you're going to have to explain it to me. I'm sorry. Philip says, I am just about on track. Awesome. Well, if anybody has anything over there, I can't even I can't even tell. If I point there, it actually points at the comments. Let me know if you are here. Let me know what you are working on. I had not planned to really go long on the stream, but people are jumping on, and now I'm enjoying myself. And maybe I'll hang out here for a few minutes and talk about the things I want to. Also, while you're here, make sure you go and hit the like button because hopefully that will encourage YouTube to send out the notification to other people who might just be sitting around looking for a live stream to jump onto because it is fun. I was on Dot Fix's Stewart's live stream yesterday, and he was doing like live keyword research. And hey, there's like a bunch of likes. Thank you. And it was really fun. And I just love that other people are jumping on this trend of going live because it's just so much more interesting and it's more fun to create this content. So I have been sort of off the grid here on YouTube a bit because I have been working on creating content for this podcast, and I have been back and forth about the podcast because it's not like it's content that people are asking for. It's something that I want to do. It's more of a passion project. It's something that I want to learn how to do, and then to be able to share sort of the journey of like how to create a podcast because it seems to be a trending thing. And who knows, maybe podcasts will never catch fire. I mean, maybe they will, but I would like to be able to ride that and know how to do it. And who knows, how that skill will be useful in the future. So I'm like, I'm going to start a podcast and it's going to be, really similarly related to YouTube. And I feel like I will promote it with YouTube. But what it means is that I've been creating content for it. And for the most part, I've been doing interviews because I really like them and they seem to perform really well. And it seems like they would fit in really well with YouTube, but it just means I haven't had a lot of energy to create YouTube videos aside from it. Hey, Mario, how's it going in Germany? How is it going in Germany? Here where I am in the US, here on the West Coast, there's actually a lot of talk about opening up, like businesses are opening up again and lifting some of the restrictions. And people are all up in arms, from either side about we should stay locked down or no, we shouldn't. But, we got to do what we got to do. Bertie says, have the articles ordered up for the new site and waiting for those to come through and I'll build up the bones of the site. That is awesome. That is awesome. I love people taking action, moving forward. And I love that you come here and feel comfortable sharing it. So love it. Yes, I think we're insane, right? Like that we would get excited about getting to sit down in front of a computer and work for hours to build something new like a website. Everybody else is excited. Hey, I'm going to go break the law to go to the beach. Or, hey, I'm going to break the law to jump a fence to go on a trail. And we're like, hooray, I get to close myself into my house and not talk to anybody and work on my website. Yes. So I wanted to share a really quick story though about a podcast like prep and like development fail that I had. And this sort of inspired the whole reason to come on this live stream. I record most of my interviews for YouTube and so far with the podcast with Zoom for a couple of reasons. One, it's free. And two, the audio is fairly good. And here is something that I did that I hope you will learn from and not do. I generally record all of my interviews in one day because I don't have the kids that day and I just get myself in that mindset and just hammer them out back to back to back and just get it done. But what happens with Zoom when you use the free version of it is it doesn't record it into the browser. You have Zoom up, it records it, and it puts a Zoom file on your local computer, which is great, right? Because if things go sideways, you have that file there on your computer and you feel backed up, you feel good. But as Zoom is active and you're recording your interview, that local file is a .zoom file. It's not something that if things went sideways right there that you could go and click on and then just play your audio. It has to be converted. Now, it used to be that it would record that file onto your computer and it wouldn't convert it automatically, I guess, in my opinion, my experience, my recollection, because you would go to the file and then it would be a .zoom file and it would say double click to convert. And then you would double click it. And since Zoom was already installed on your computer, it would just do it. But in their wisdom, they have decided now to, when the interview is finished, you click end meeting, and then the file will begin converting right away, which is great. It saves me that extra step of having to go there and click on it and then have my interview blah. But what happens is if you schedule things back to back to back, So I finished one interview, I hit end meeting, it says it's converting, good. It's doing that. I'm going to start a new meeting. Well, what I learned is that is a bad idea, because what happens is Zoom does not finish, either it won't finish converting the old file, or it won't set up the new file that you're recording to convert. So at the end of one of those interviews, if they're back to back, that Zoom file will sit on your computer and it's not converted, which in the old days was fine because you would double click it to convert it. But Zoom, in their wisdom, like I said, updated their program, their app, their thing, so that it doesn't convert. The extra step, like there's no capability now within Zoom to convert that file over with their current setup. Now, if you are super technical, which I am not, and I did a bunch of searches of the forums, they're like, oh, well, if you run this command and do this thing and blah 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 blah, you'll get it. I'm like, that is way too technical for me. It scares me, it intimidates me. And so I was on my computer, and this happened to me because I scheduled an interview back to back, and I was like, I just lost this 1 hour and a half chat with somebody who I really admire. And I was like, so how did I solve it? I didn't solve it by doing anything technical. I didn't solve it by running any specific programs or downloading anything. Is I went to an older computer that I had used Zoom on before, and I uploaded the files to Google Drive. And then I went to my computer on the other one that I don't use very often, and I got into them there, and I had the old version of Zoom installed over there, and they converted, and now I have access to it. So I guess the sum of it is, if you're going to be using Zoom to record interviews, to make sure that you finish converting the previous interview or file or whatever before it is you start the next one. And it shouldn't take that long, only a couple of minutes. But I was, like really lining those things right up and literally going click end meeting. Okay, go to the next meeting, click start. And I almost blew it. I almost totally lost that content. So if you're going to be doing this, and I hope that you will, that you do not make my mistake. I'm going to go over to the comments, and I see Birdie saying, I'm a redhead. I'm likely to burst into flames in direct sunlight. Yeah, I don't have that problem. But that's lucky me. Mike, hey, Mike, how's it going? Nice to catch up with you. He says, all I hear about everyone's traffic is going down. So what sites are going up? All I hear is someone has to go up. For me, I'm seeing not necessarily pages like overall, like domain level going down. I am seeing some pages going up. They're just not the pages that were getting the most traffic before. So instead of going up thousands, like they're going up a little bit. It's just overall the traffic is down. I was honestly expecting kind of a major traffic drop after people were released from their homes, because a lot of the pages that I was seeing getting lots of traffic from were pages that were relevant to staying at home. And obviously that was not going to continue to happen long term. Let's see. Personal finance minimalist. Hey man, how's it going? You say mine up, got 200 new visitors yesterday, and I'm up to 120 today, new highs. Well, there you go. Somebody who is actually seeing a benefit and something positive from this whole update. Whatever else. Oh yeah. So launching the podcast, that is in progress, and I'm working on it this weekend. And my goal, and I'm just saying this out there, I'm putting this out there for accountability, because I've been saying it, and my goal was to get it done by the end of April. And clearly I have not done it. So I'm just telling everyone there in the comments, I'm telling everyone who is watching this later on, that the goal is to actually hit the publish button by Sunday. And if I do not get it done by Sunday, I authorize you to come after me and troll the hell out of me, because I deserve it. I really got to get this going, and I just got to get over the hump of getting started. So I'm just putting it out there, going live to tell everybody that I'm going to get this done. No more procrastinating, no more being afraid, no more being anxious. I'm just going to get it done. Birdie says, regarding Zoom, depending on how the program works, you could create a second login for your PC. And alternate between the accounts. It has to do with the specific program. It's not even necessarily the accounts. It's just, it doesn't have the capability anymore to convert it. And when you go into the Zoom forum, there are lots of people who are complaining about this issue. And now, because of Corona, because of the pandemic, Zoom is not offering any support for the free versions. You can have access to their online resources, but you create a support ticket and it immediately gets solved. They are not talking to you. You have to pay now to have access to Zoom support, which just makes me angry because it's totally not my fault and it's their thing that they don't warn you about and they don't prevent you from doing it, and they offer you no real easy way to fix it. It seems like it should be an update that they should be easily able to do, and they're just not able to do it right now. Mike says, I have one site going up big and one going down. A couple more are flat. Just have to wait to see where the dust settles. I concur. I concur. Well, I don't have plans to stay on for long. I just really wanted to come on and say hey to everybody. I'm going hiking and I want to get this podcast launched. And so this is my accountability. I'm coming out here saying hi. Maybe I will do a live stream later in the week if there is a call for it. But mostly it's just everybody's getting their stuff done and I want to go and do that. So thank you so much for jumping on. Oh, one more question. Phil says, how many podcast interviews do you have in the bank? Let's see. I think 6 so far, 5 or 6 new ones that haven't been published here on the channel. And then I was planning on going back and grabbing some of the older ones and just putting them there so they're all in one place. So if people aren't interested in sitting on YouTube and watching for an hour, that they could go ahead and just catch them, when they're on their phone or they're out and about or whatever, if that's something they're interested in. Yeah, Stuart, the mic is way better. It is way better. I am still sort of adjusting to having it and like being natural with it. But I like it and I think it's going to sound a lot better. And so for podcasting, it's going to be, I think it's going to be better. So, all right, Phil, thanks for checking in. Thanks, Stuart, for dropping in. Mike, Birdie, everybody. Love you guys. Let's do this again soon. All right. Take care.